ball like 23. AR 15, I got clips, bitch. Mind your business, the blacks are vicious. Born a misfit, 2 for 5. Code name Christmas, she's so convincing.
Everybody, you know who it is, man. It's Tay Wiggs.
And Mark Senior.
It's After Hours Live for the Man Cave, man. I know we've been gone for a minute. You know, everybody's still quarantined doing COVID-19. But before we kick the show off, man, I got breaking news, man. As DJ Khaled would say, breaking news alert. Breaking news. ESPN said they are extremely disappointed in Rachel Nichols. Somebody secretly recorded her saying some in the private conversation. They did not say what she said or expose what she said. But it's kind of crazy because this happened to Erin Andrews back in 2009 when she was on ESPN.
Yep, I remember that.
So Rachel Nichols, you know, you will catch her on ESPN, NBA The Jump. I don't know what she said or who would she say anything about, or is it we don't know. But ESPN said they highly disappointed in her. We don't know what she said, but to further notice, ESPN said they will handle this as an issue. We haven't heard anything yet come across the screen or the ticker. But when you go on the internet and stuff like that, you're looking at different stuff. And I was checking some stuff on my email. It said Rachel Nichols is in a heap of trouble. I said, wow, not Rachel Nichols. So what you think she could have said, Mark?
Oh man, I don't know. To be in a heap of trouble, you know, that's something my grandparents would say. Like, you in a whole heap of trouble. That you did something bad, you know, where you be like, ooh, you get in trouble. Man, I don't know. I hope it ain't, you know, based on her guess, you know, and how he had, you know, is liked around NBA players primarily who are black. I hope she ain't saying nothing racist.
Right.
Now, because she have said something about President Trump, you know, similar to I forget her name. She used to be on with Michael Smith, and then, you know, and she eventually got fired from ESPN and quit. Jemele Hill, you know, I think she probably said something, you know, downgrading the president possibly.
All right, we know the NBA starting up next Wednesday. With a scrimmage, we don't know if these games will be televised. I think this is like just a walkthrough and see how things are going to go before they start the season up on July 30th. We already know we already know, Marcus. I'm going to let you start it off with the NBA about the players in the bubble. The floor is yours, my friend.
I mean, you know, we already had a guy already break the bubble and just get sent home. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that man's name. He wasn't that important anyway.
We're talking about Bruno Colabello for the Houston Rockets.
He wasn't essential anyway, so he got sent home.
He wasn't the only one, though. He wasn't the only one. Rashad Holmes, too.
Rashad Holmes, he's a Montrezl Harrell type of player, so he get off the bench, give energy.
Right.
He will be missed. But then we had some players with permission break the bubble, like Kawhi Leonard had a family emergency. The latest, Zion Williamson, he had a family emergency.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like players gonna keep breaking this bubble. It's just a matter of time before a big name player break the bubble, like Anthony Davis, James Harden. You know, I don't know if you've seen the memes, but, you know, they got him like having a phone conversation with Adam Silver, like, can I bring the strippers to the bubble? So it's only a matter of time before, you know, one of those guys break the bubble. I don't see it lasting, you know, being, you know, a peachy keen this entire semi-season.
You know, it's been kind of weird throughout this whole ordeal. You know, out of 322 players in the NBA, 7 players tested positive for COVID-19. We already know Taurean Prince. The latest to add on that list is Russell Westbrook. It's just right now it's just a weird time. What's going on? Who's been tested positive? Michael Beasley, who just came to the Brooklyn Nets. So you're looking at players like that. So, and with the COVID, like you said, more players are going to break this bubble. Like Damian Lillard, they had a birthday party for him last night. I think it was his 30th birthday. Well, I ain't gonna say I know. it was his 30th birthday. They had a party in there, nobody was wearing masks. So now the NBA has a 1-800 number that you can call if players is breaking any rules in the bubble. It's the snitching hotline.
Snitch.
Right.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers said, if LeBron break it or Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'm calling that hotline. So for him to, I know he was just joking, but for him to say those two players he's going to call, it sounds like he's kind of scared of those two teams.
Mm-hmm. One is on a completely different coast too, so
right.
He ain't got to take them to the championship, so he need both to break the bubble if he gonna see Giannis.
Right.
Because you can't see Giannis if you don't get past LeBron.
Right. And what's so funny about this whole bubble thing? I'm on Snapchat, right? I follow a couple of NBA players. Patrick Beverly, before he came to the bubble, went to the polo store and bought all the polo white tees. He told anybody, if y'all run a white tees, I got the polo tees for y'all for sale. Patrick Beverly, everybody thought it was funny. I thought it was real clever because he bought all the polo shirts. He might get a polo deal out of that.
It's possible. He made them for free in the long run.
Oh, yeah. And another player who got the COVID-19 is Harrison Barnes. He has it too. But this is it's so crazy. But when you're looking at now, Victor Oladipo is coming back. He's want to play. At first, he didn't want to play.
He said he wasn't. He didn't.
He said he might play. Now, I'm looking like, what made you change your mind? Like, what made him change his mind?
Just like Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity.
Yeah, because you're looking at people like Victor Oladipo, like, you want to get paid. This is your contract year. So, off that injury, if you sit out, people will still a team or a medical doctor of that other organization is going to still think you injured. So you got to go out there and show something so you can get a big payday. So if you're looking at people like a Victor Oladipo who comes back from injury, another person who's coming back from injury who's been gone from the league for 2 years. Remember Andre Roberson for the OKC Thunder?
Yeah.
He will be back with the Thunder.
Man, I'm liking the Thunder's chances.
Yeah, that's what I said. Sleeper team. That's another defender. You got Mr. Drippo there. You got Shea, Chris Paul, the general. They have a nice young nucleus. Do they have enough to get to a championship? No. Can they upset a team? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
In this whole bubble thing, so the Denver Nuggets, Gary Harris, Michael Porter Jr., and Torrey Craig, which are key pieces to the Denver Nuggets, still hasn't reported to Orlando.
Oh, they haven't even reported. Okay. I think because those players you mentioned, they weren't in the news like Dwight Howard, Avery Bradley, Kyrie Irving, saying they're not going to report at all. Even though 2 out of those 4 people I named decided they were still going to come and play. None of those Denver Nuggets players are on the list, so I'm surprised that they're not reporting. It's like not a breaking story on why they're not reporting in camp, especially Michael Porter, who haven't played in forever, and this is a grand opportunity for him to play.
You're definitely right about that because you're looking at somebody like Michael Porter Jr., who got a nice luxury, a team that got a nice, well-stacked team, arguably probably the top 3 team in the West, for him not to show up to be with his teammates. I know. Before I go into depth with this, health is over wealth any day, but not to report. We don't know why he didn't report. The team know. Like I said, COVID-19. Do he want to play? Do we want a chance that and become sick? We don't know. I think everybody who's playing in the bubble is chancing a lot of stuff. First and foremost, with health-wise. And a lot of these guys, some guys are like, you know what? I'm playing regardless. And they were like, you know what? Because at the end of the day, some players don't have to play. Damian Lillard don't have to play if they want to. We talk about guys that got big contracts. But the guys who had like small contracts, what they gonna do, Mark? They gonna play. They gonna try to secure that bag. They like, yo, I need the money to go back to my family. They don't have these big contracts like a LeBron or Kawhi Leonard. Like, them guys don't have to play for real.
No, not at all. Like they can literally just take the time as vacation and
Mm-hmm.
and still get paid 2 or 3 times as some of the players who, like you said, that need to play.
Right.
Guys that's like on 10-day contracts or 1 contracts and in contract years that may not be a star. Like it's not going to be a frenzy, to see where they go at the end of the year. It's going to be more like, where can I find work?
Right.
So some of those guys is risking, especially the guys with the big contract risk. But for the guys who don't have that luxury, it's an opportunity. It's like a risk reward. Like if they play and they do good with the smaller subset of teams, they can be a payday for them.
Exactly. And when you're going down this list, we know you're looking at all these players, like, everybody, like you said, everybody's chancing it with becoming sick. Then too, like somebody, I gotta get paid. I gotta find some way I can get a big contract. So it's still a showcase for some of this. Not only we should be worrying about the players, I mean, it's other people that come into that bubble. We talk about a camera crew, reporters. They gotta sit in the bubble. Everybody that deals, once they in that ring, they cannot leave. Then when I was hearing too, that they supposed to wear some type of ring that supposed to buzz off if they get some type of sickness. Second of all,
wow.
they supposed to have a name tag badge. If you get too close to a person, it buzzes off that you're not 6 feet. So it's a lot of rules in this.
Man, they need to apply some of these rules to real life because people in the real world need it. I mean, it sounds like the bubble is safe to me.
Yeah,
like they got all these precautions.
A lot of people are not 6 feet oriented. Some people just like to be close to people in general. So you got to do respect the space of people. But moving right along, we want to talk about these NBA injuries that's popping up out of nowhere in this bubble. First and foremost, you got Rajon Rondo. He hurt his hand and his thumb in the practice scrimmage. Would that hurt the Lakers?
All the rave.
All the rave.
Him come back.
So you think that's going to hurt the Lakers' chances?
Nah. Yeah, it might because they got two.
They got 2 defender point guards that's gone. Him and Bradley.
Him and Bradley, and they got 2 sketchy players. You question judgment joining the team, and Deion Waiters and J.R. Smith, and Rajon Rondo is a steady floor general. Like he gonna get everybody in check. They need to be. And there was a lot of rave about, when he came back, how in shape he was after being, on lockdown for all this time. They said he looked like he was in high school, the type of shape he was in. So that's like a real letdown for them, as far as they were. And then, like, who going to be the point guard? I guess you can say LeBron, but LeBron can't do it 24/7.
Right. Now, what's funny, though, because they went down. Guess who came out of nowhere and said, hey, Lakers, y'all need a point guard? Mario Chalmers. He said, I've been working out. He said, hey, Lakers, I need a point guard. I'm your man. Mario Chalmers plays defense.
To get back with LeBron forever.
He's been trying to get back since the Miami days. They do need a point guard, all honesty. Then I seen Isaiah Thomas' name pop up. Not the real Zeke. I'm talking about little Isaiah. Saving Isaiah. That's what I'm calling his career now. They trying to get his career ended. So, no point intended, man. I'm sorry, man. This ain't hype, bro. but he's trying to say, right. But realistically, the Lakers do need another point guard. Deion Waiters, we haven't seen. Deion Waiters is having a good season in Miami until Kendrick Nunn showed up off the bench and had one of these magical nights, and they never look back and they say, Deion, you've been released. And since then, DeAndre's been working
That was
out.
after the edible incident too.
Oh yeah,
Can't
the
forget
edible
about that.
incident. Oh yeah, he was on a plane hallucinating. I think he was saying dead people on the plane. uh, at the end of the day, the Lakers do need a point guard. I mean, what you gonna move KCP to the point guard now? He didn't start. He started coming on close to the end of the season.
Yeah, you're right. He did start playing better at the end of towards the end of the season. So he can probably take like that Avery Bradley role, where he play a little point, but he's mainly out there to defend. I can't see him doing full point guard responsibilities. He'll be back to airballing layups.
Yeah, he started playing. He started playing real well and fantastic towards the end. Once the rumors was coming out today, he was going to get J.R. Smith. Once he heard J.R. Smith, he turned into another person. He started glassing people on the backboard, dunking on people, hitting wide open threes, basically saying, "Man, y'all can't disrespect me. I'm here with the ball because J.R. Smith is still in the streets." Because the rumor was that J.R. Smith turned down the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, they both clutch sports guys. He was gonna find work somewhere. All in the bubble. He'll get him on the team.
Since we on this J.R. Smith topic, I don't think a lot of people know this. J.R. Smith said if he retired, he don't want the Cleveland Cavaliers to retire his jersey. How you feel about that? Because how he got treated.
He gonna go back on that. I mean, that's right as of right now. That's the only place he had recognizable success.
Yes.
As an NBA champion. The people in Cleveland loved him.
Yeah.
Me and you both went to the parade. His car in the parade had some of the most people around it. So
exactly.
I think he gonna go back on that. He'll let the Cavs retire his jersey unless this Laker run really turn into a run and they win multiple championships. He may just be satisfied, by having LA do it. Or New York. I mean, even though they didn't really do much in New York, he's from that area. He probably
he's from the
has
tri-state
some
area.
type of special bond with them retiring it too.
Right. And one thing that I'm gonna say, J.R. Smith has his own theme song. Like, who has that? LeBron only have his own theme song as a Cavalier. J.R. Smith has his own theme song. So when I'm looking at that, I'm looking like, do you forever go down as you're going down in history as one of the greatest Cavaliers. You know what I'm saying? To lace them up. You know what I'm saying? And for him to say that, like you said, he's gonna piggyback on that. People like the J.R. Smith song. If you go on YouTube, he has his own song. It's called J.R. Smith So Right. Go take a listen to that. I'll play it every time when the Cavaliers win the championship. That every time they come around, I sit in the car. But J.R. Smith is hitting threes from every inch angle. J.R. Like, I mean, what is not to like? Kyrie don't have his own song. Like I said, LeBron. None of these guys. So it's well fitting. Like you said, Marcus. JR will piggyback on that and regret what he said. So
they're gonna do something to recognize the whole team, that whole championship team at some point. He's not gonna be the only one that be like, I don't recognize me.
Exactly. So as we talk about the injuries, we talk about Rondo and his injury. Now, what's gonna hurt Sacramento Kings is De'Aaron Fox with the sprained ankle. Swiper the Fox, what I call him. A sprained ankle, the left ankle to be at that. Could possibly be up to 2 weeks, 7 to 10 days. That can hurt their chances right there.
That's the entire season.
Right. And you talk about
he's a big guy too, so he need that ankle to be healed.
He's a speedy guy. So you talk about like a John Wall type of speed that you're going to miss out there on that floor, and it's going to hurt Sacramento. And you're looking at John Wall. I keep hearing through the grapevine that he may suit up, he may not. I think John Wall might just sit out. Say, you know what, I'm gonna sit out. But if you get John Wall back out there with Bradley Beal, some things will get a little dicey in the East.
Right. I was surprised the Wizards made the bubble anyway.
Right.
So I'm like, they must be trying to open up that door for John Wall to come back. That was my thoughts when I seen him.
They say he's been running up and down the floor, doing some 5-on-5 drills. When you hear a player doing 5-on-5 drills, that means he's almost getting that green light to go. Then he's partaking in, he's running. So that's a good sign right there. Do I think he might play? It might be a surprise. It might be a surprise. But but my heart tells me 85% chance that he don't play.
Yeah, he might let it heal up some more. Unless further on than what me and you know.
Right.
I mean, if he like 110%, going out there, give it a try. I mean, it's like I said, there's a lot of opportunity out there. It's not everybody is not invited. It's just a small subset of teams. You got it's like an audition,
Right.
and a chance to do a long playoff run.
Mm-hmm. Now, everybody know Adrian Wojnarowski, aka Woj, with the Woj bomb. The Woj bomb let a Woj bomb go. He dropped a big FU.
He dropped the F bomb, right?
to the Senator Ryan Gillespie, if I pronounced that name right. Gaspanigo. Told him F you. Whoa. So basically the thing was, I think that Senator said, I think he said all lives matter. And I think Woj said, before you say all lives matter, I think he was referring to, Woj said the black people lives matter as well too, because he said they're the ones in the country that's still taking a hard hit no matter what we do. I don't say what they do, but what me and you do. We still get looked at different. And we, and let's be quite clear, man. We help our ancestors put the United States on their damn back.
Right.
We built the White House, railroad tracks. So when I see people hold up signs to telling black people go back to Africa, okay, I'm gonna take my lights with me, my peanut butter with me.
My roads,
the engine that start the first Model T car. I'm taking all this stuff that we patent. I'm taking this all with us, because with our ancestors, there would be no lights, no gas pipes, none of this stuff that we use pretty much every day that I think people take for granted. And the sickening part is about this. I don't want to get too caught up in this, because we can say this for another day or another platform. But what our people went through, it's like people say turn the other cheek. Oh, that was 400 years ago. That's still not that long ago, because you think 400 years, people just not starting to vote. People can't get their voting rights to the 60s. So if you want to be honest, you could say that stuff that's happening now was still going on only just 50 years ago. That's not that long.
Right. It's not long at all.
So
I mean, we got like our parents and aunts and uncles. They're in their 50s, so they've been around for that. So if it's still people alive that was an eyewitness, it's not that long ago.
Exactly. Like I said, you gotta each one teach one, because people are saying things and don't have no damn clue what the hell they talking about. So just let that be known. I'm with you, Woj. Free Woj. Speaking up for the people. at the end of the day, yes, everybody want to be equal, but the black person, the black man and woman has been getting treated differently every day. You can see, and still right to this day, they still didn't catch the people who killed Breonna Taylor. Let's put down the table first and foremost.
Right.
Jo-
Those cops still has not arrested.
right. Moving right along, Tom Thibodeau is in his final talks to become the New York Knicks head coach. We don't know when the Knicks going to introduce him as a coach, or they still looking at other candidates. We know their GM is Mr. Worldwide West. You know that guy can get anybody to come to his game. So I think the Dolans is trying to save the New York Knicks franchise. We know the Knicks sell out. We don't care who they playing, what their record is. That's a sold out house. So they got to start somewhere to rebuild this thing. And speaking of New York Knicks, LaMelo Ball, he might be the first pick of the NBA draft. It depending on with the Cavs, if the Cavs got that choice, or the Golden State Warriors. And the Knicks, pretty much those three teams have the worst records in the league for the number one pick. And Melo said he don't want to play. I ain't gonna say he don't want, but don't quote me. But they said that LaMelo do not want to play for the Golden State Warriors. He preferred the New York Knicks.
I mean, 100%. Understand why. I mean, because his dad, talked down on most of the players on the Warriors team for the better part of these last 2 years. Trying to pump Lonzo up, saying he was better than Steph. So I don't even know if that'd be a good situation for him to walk into, to be honest. And the Knicks is probably a better opportunity for him. If Tibbs get that job, no, it's not a good opportunity for him because I don't think he'd thrive in a Tibbs system. Tibbs is good with guys who are aggressive, always on go, like Derrick Rose. He had an MVP year with Tibbs, or somebody like Russell Westbrook. LaMelo Ball, his game is relaxed, pass first, like he's real passive. So and he don't play defense at all, and that's what Tibbs all about. So I don't see that working out. If he goes number one, and the Knicks got the number one pick, I don't think it'll work very long with him. Like, they'll pick him. I'm not saying they're not gonna pick him, but I don't think it'll work in a Tibbs system. He would have been better off with Isdale.
I agree with you. Piggyback what you're saying that LaMelo Ball don't play defense. I seen it because shout out to my homeboy I went to elementary school with, my dude Malcolm Terry. His nephew, baldhead Michi, was tearing him up on the defensive end, taking the ball from him, going to the hole, booming on it. Even LeVar Ball had to sit back and clap and give a hand clap to that one. But hey, shout out to Michi Terry. If you out there baldhead, man, you need to come on the show, man. We need to sit down and talk to you for real, man. How you got that name? Oh yeah, he will be tending CSU Vikings. They got a NBA champion over there, Norris Cole. Shout out to him. And I'm looking at, like you said, when the Tom Thibodeau offense or in the defensive scheme, he wasn't fit. The perfect person that they got over there to fit that scheme at the point guard is Dennis Smith Jr. So He's getting lost. So when you said that, like a Derrick Rose, I said, you know what? Derrick Smith has that Derrick S. Rose type of style.
He already on the
play
team.
hard. He on the team. He play hard. He get to the cup. He play defense. Thibodeau with Frank Nicolini, he might be trade bait.
Yeah, he gonna end up on the team. See, that's another thing. So that's his type of guy, Frank Nick, because he play defense. He don't complain a lot. He just like a hard worker. And Tibbs like those type of guys too. So it's gonna be they already overloaded in so many positions. Why it's tough. You know, they got too many power forwards. They got too many guards that are limited. Like none of them really can shoot. They're all athletic.
Exactly. Let's say LaMelo Ball get drafted by the Cavaliers. Cavaliers is point guard heavy too. Delly, Darius, Colin, Dean Wade, who ain't played yet. Like, they deep. So
Yeah, I mean that's somebody gonna end up getting it on this team. The Knicks, the Cavs. What's is down there? I don't think Charlotte is close in the race. They were pretty and they got Rozier, so I don't think they're gonna trade Terry after signing him to a big contract. So
no.
somebody on them bottom teams gonna get traded for LaMelo Ball. Unfortunately,
I believe, to be honest with you, I think the Cavaliers might get him. I think the Cavaliers might try something different. You know, everybody want to play small ball. And, you know, to be honest, the best player on the Cavaliers team right now, as speaking as talented wise, is Kevin Porter Jr. Made that quite clear. And so he might be the best overall talent on the Cavaliers team on what he can do.
right?
You just need to see more from him. We know Andre Drummond signed a big contract back with the Cavaliers. So maybe this might work. Who knows? Will Kevin Love stay or will he leave? He's a free agent. It's a 50-50 chance that he might stay.
I think him and Tristan end up staying.
You thinking TT stay?
I think Tristan want that contract. You know, I think he had stayed long enough to get the contract and then maybe demand a trade like that. You know, guys are known for doing that these days. So, but I honestly think he being in Cleveland. I know that's odd for people,
Right.
but I think Tristan Thompson like being in Cleveland. And I think with Coach Beeline gone, I don't think he was a fan of Beeline.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, JB Biggerstaff, you know, I think he's a players type of coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think more players that actually want to come and play with, you know, Kevin Porter Jr., Colin Sexton, Drummond, Kevin Love. You know, I think they just like one just niche guy away from
Being a
being
playoff
a
contender team.
decent team.
Exactly. When I'm looking at that, I'm looking at their roster shape. All right. Dellavedova, scrappy player. The fans love him. He's a fan favorite. But, hey, Deli, I know you got a ring, but you got to walk up out of here. He missed a lot of layups, shoot a lot of air balls from three-point line. I mean, sometimes with him, as my one friend Karaj say, it's getting ugly out there, Baba.
I think he gonna end up retiring with the Cavs. I don't know if he gonna play a lot, but he may end up retiring. He gonna keep a roster spot on that team, similar to like Zadrunas. But Zadrunas was actually was real good, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. It's funny because when you said that Tristan may stay, I was thinking the same thing because Cleveland, Ohio is only 5 hours away from Toronto. So
it's a boat ride away.
Literally, you're on the good time 3. Like, it's not that far, but for some reason, I think he might head out west. If Anthony Davis walk and go somewhere else, Tristan can easily slide into that spot and play for the Lakers too, for a small contract. Because he's been paid already. He got a championship ring. You know Tristan Thompson going to play defense. He's going to grab you 10. He can grab about 10 plus rebounds a night. And he runs the floor.
I mean, he runs the floor and he showed up. The Cavs ain't been in the playoffs since LeBron left, but in his playoff time, Tristan Thompson show up.
He does.
That's one thing I will say about him.
He does show up. And he's playing defense. He gives it all. Since basketball topic, like I said, the NBA starting back up next Wednesday. Like I said, these games, we don't know if these games will be televised or not. So the 22nd, folks, I think it's pretty much going to be a walkthrough. See somebody if they main stars get sick, Marcus, they know they're going to shut it down. It's going to get shut down. This a trial and error round that scrimmage is.
Right. That's why I say it was a bad sign of that Russell Westbrook, testing positive. You already had two of the Utah guys before that kind of kick-started all this test positive for Rudy Gobert. So if another big name is gonna get real dicey in that bubble, they're gonna start really restricting movement. They already complaining as is. It's gonna get real dicey if another player, a star player, gets sick.
Now the crazy thing too. So before we jump off this NBA thing, how did you feel about the players tweeting, IGing they lunches and they food they was getting?
I thought it was funny. I didn't see everybody's. I only saw a few. The one I remember the most, of course, is J.R. Smith. He got it. As soon as he get back in the league, he's making
Already
social media news. So, I mean, I don't know where the money for the food and that is coming from, but if it's something that's just being provided to them, I mean, they getting 4-star service.
Right.
It may not be the best of food.
Right. I'm just sitting back. I'm laughing because you got these guys saying, "What is this food? What I'm eating?" Some of y'all forget that y'all came from poverty. That y'all was eating these same meals. So I'm gonna be offended by it because it's people out there who don't have nothing to eat and wish they could eat something. You talk about millionaire guys. Let's be honest. You knew you was going into a bubble. You can bring anything you want to in that bubble, your own food. You could have brought something that you like to eat. They mad because they can't get no Wendy's, none of the stuff that they normally don't eat. But realistically, they should never posted it because now they was getting calls from the NBA saying they got to take these videos down, Mark. J.R. Smith's like, this is what he said in his own voice. Let me say how close I can sound like J.R. Smith. This is what he said. See the stuff they're giving me? I don't know, man. I can't even eat this, man. Applesauce, this, that. Hold on. Just the lead call me right now. I gotta take the video down. But you guys was eating this stuff in school, at home, before you made it to the league. You know what I'm saying? The NBA already put $170 million into the bubble. Somebody said that's it. Yeah, that's it, because they gotta see how long it's gonna go before we pour more money into this before somebody else gets sick.
Right, and who knows that the food they probably feed them? Our hope is is ran across their respective teams, training staff, doctors. It's probably stuff to help prevent them from getting sick.
Right.
I mean, the diet is probably based around that. I would hope it would be. I mean, that's a smart thing to do.
Right. All right. Moving along from the NBA, going right to the NFL. Marcus, you said that the NFL is taking some, making some stuff for the players. Can you elaborate what they making for these players and the teams?
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty cool. They making like what's called an Oakley mouth shield. To help fight the COVID. And I think it's a pretty, so with football, wearing this type of gear, it looks cool. Any other sport is kind of bulky. But, right. It's see-through. You can barely notice it, but it's supposed to help, stop fluids from one player to another player. If they tackle you, you come in there. Because it ain't no football is a touch
Contact,
sport. So
it's a
you got to be touching the other team player all the time. And it's no, the 6 foot rule is just not going to apply. It's not going to apply to any sport like that. But I think the mask is a pretty cool idea. I think more sports, it's like baseball,
Mhm.
it'll be a good opportunity for them to use it too because it fit like right on a helmet. You got a batter's helmet, um, or even like a baseball hat. I can
Right.
see it fit. Making it fit on that.
What about I do like that how they testing things out. The NFL is buying the most time. Their season don't start to like September 10th. Training camp don't start to 2 weeks from now. So they went from 4 preseason games to 2. It might not be no preseason games. They might jump into the regular season depending how things go. With that Oakley mouth shield, like you said, it keeps the sweat, the spit, because you already know, like you said, football is a touch sport. And a fumble, anything happen, a tackle, easily about 6-7 guys can be on the ground. Boom. There you go. Like I said, like you said with that virus, look at the linemen, defensive and offensive linemen. You talking about guys that weigh almost like 300 some pounds. Imagine one of those guys getting COVID and they lose about 40 or 50 pounds. That is not the same defensive lineman or offensive lineman, body-wise. Just imagine Joe Thomas going for 300 some pounds to the size he is now. He's not about to block nobody at 250.
No, sir. Not at all.
Man, speaking of the NFL.
More of a wide receiver.
Yeah. Speaking of
tight
NFL,
end at that size.
Yeah, big tight end. Speaking of NFL, like you said, we got Patrick Mahomes. Did the 10-year deal, $503 million. That is the biggest contract in the United States of America pro sports. He beat out Bryce Harper. Remember Bryce Harper? Well, he's ranking on what? He's ranking on 4?
Yep.
And it's so funny. They gave Bryce right. They gave Bryce Harper all that money and sent him to the Philadelphia. They sent him to the Phillies. So we don't need you, Bryce. We're gonna take this team that we had last year, and we're gonna win a World Series. And one of the players they won the World Series said, "Hey, Bryce, how you like that? Ain't all about the money." So
I knew that one scene of that run they had. I'm like, I know that they about to go all the way with him gone. It's like the what people call the Patrick Ewing theory. Like, when Patrick was off the team, the Knicks all of a sudden they'll start doing better than what they do.
Exactly. Because like I said, the Bryce Harper deal is $330 million. And you gave Patrick Mahomes a 10-year deal for $503. You talk about secure the bag to bring strength up, Garda, whoever's bringing the money in, the FBI, Pablo Escobar family, bring the money in. Patrick Mahomes is getting paid. That's $500 million. And Marcus, you know the funny part is? We ain't talk about the contract. I mean, not the contract, the endorsement deals that he have.
Don't he got an endorsement with the Heinz ketchup?
Yep.
State Farm.
Yep.
It's one.
You got a Gatorade contract.
Right.
You got the Adidas contract. We need to talk about
his way to Billy.
Right. We ain't talking about the little contracts that you do inside the city though, like the commercials and stuff. We ain't talking about like car commercials. So there's other stuff he's doing out there, like Patrick Mahomes. That sidearm throw that you brought from baseball to the NFL, it got you paid. I'm not hating on you, bro. Like if he ever get injured, he's set, Marcus.
He already a legend, kinda. He's an MVP.
Right.
He's a Super Bowl champ MVP. And he's a multi-millionaire.
He broke the batting curse.
Exactly. Like that in itself, he can retire.
Speaking of quarterbacks with big contracts, let's go back to Dak Prescott, who turned down his long-term deal, which he could have got paid too. Like I think the Cowboys are trying to pay him like a 6-year deal for almost 200-something mil. He said no. So now, the first thing I noticed though, you told Jerry Jones no in Jerry World.
Jerry can't do it, Jerry.
In Jerry World, you told him no. For you get a big contract like Pat Mahomes, you know, I'm a Cowboys fan too, at the end of the day. Man, Dak, you gotta go out there and go 16-0, get a first round bye in the playoffs, go undefeated in the playoffs, and win the Super Bowl. If you want a contract like Pat Mahomes. This the sad part would mess it up though, Marcus. His brother Tad Prescott said, I was a Cowboys fan anyway. So your brother is about to hurt your contract. Like,
right.
Yeah, be like, come on, bro.
He said that after he signed the contract. After he signed the contract, you say stuff like that.
Shame on you. Myles Garrett of the Cleveland Browns. 5-year deal, $125 million. Mr. Myles Garrett. You know, a lot of people going to remember Myles Garrett for Helmet Gate. Smashing Mason Rudolph on the helmet, on the head with the helmet.
Browns forgot.
Yeah.
The Browns don't remember nothing about that.
Exactly. When I look at that contract, well deserved. If he never got suspended for those games, I think the Browns could have ended up 8-8. They could have walked their way into the playoffs, and who knows? You know, anything can happen.
Really was.
Myles Garrett could have been on his way to Defensive Player of the Year, but that's a huge contract. And it's huge. It's saying, what I like about that contract, every those people, he had to get the money while I was there. Not really. He could have went anywhere and got paid. He could have left the Browns. Like, you know what? I leave the Browns. I can get paid somewhere else. But for someone to sign with the Browns that long for that much money, man, kudos to you, Myles Garrett. But arguably, speaking of the Cleveland Browns, on paper, they're like they got one of the best teams in the NFL.
Right. They underperformed this year for sure. They were a letdown. The year before, you know, they made a big jump with Baker coming. Baker kind of fell. You know, we found out that, you know, Odell was hurt. The whole helmet gate thing, they never could get a solid momentum going. And they didn't do it as well as they should have. You know, it was too much hype, I think, going into the season.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
And they just didn't live up to it. Right.
I think what did it to the Browns was the year before they got Odell, when they was on Hard Knocks. Man, they was drinking the Kool-Aid. Not drinking the Kool-Aid, they had Kool-Aid in all flavors. Cherry, strawberry, watermelon, blueberry. I mean, they live for the camera. And that team right there could have been a playoff team as well. But a lot of this stuff goes on. They always try to put the blame on the quarterback. Let's be honest. Just start upstairs, GMs, then go down to your coaches and your personnel.
Right.
Freddie Kitchens wasn't disciplined enough for that team. When he got fired and the defensive coordinator took over, I feel like the Browns had something with him. And I don't even think the Browns should have signed him to a long deal contract and see what they was going to work with. And I don't think Greg Williams was the head coach. That's who took over for Freddie Kitchens. Mr. Come Get Some. So,
right.
And I liked his defense because he had Myles Garrett on different places on the field and disguising the defense. I thought Greg Williams might have been a good offensive coordinator or the offensive coach for the Cleveland Browns. I thought they had something working with him because with Freddie Kitchens, Baker Mayfield didn't have no clue what he was doing, rolling out too much to the right, making the wrong reads on defense, couldn't read the defense. I mean, it's a lot of things that he need to polish his games up. Like he told you, like he had an interview said they was having too much fun. They was buying into the hype, and they weren't winning no games. They was losing games that they should have been winning.
Right. And they didn't utilize Chubbs enough. It was just a bunch of just wrong things going on. I mean, Freddie Kitchens is getting too fancy with the offense. Yeah, it's just a real head scratcher that whole season.
Yeah, that it was. Two, I'm looking at where Hollywood Higgins, he got lost. Like Freddie Kitchens benched him. Like, what are you doing? That's your third string wide receiver who pretty much got hands and speed. So you benched him.
And Baker had a lot of chemistry with
A
him.
lot of chemistry with Hollywood. He changed his number. So, Wood changed his number, which I think the Browns may shock some people. Like they got a coach, which I do like they got a fullback. I thought the Browns always did good when they have a fullback in their backfield. That's just me. The year they went 7-9 with Mike
Hillis.
Yeah. The year they went 7-9 with Mike Patton, they had a fullback back there. So they actually had a decent season. So if you don't have NFL Game Pass, it's free. To July 31st, you can sit back and watch all your favorite NFL teams games for free. Like I said, NFL. Speaking of NFL, we got the name changes of the Washington Redskins. So they no longer will call them the Washington Redskins. We don't know what the new name will be, but some guy designed some stuff for them, put out 100 new logos, and he patented it in case if they use it, that he had to get paid for it. So there's a couple of names. So it's a couple of names that I ain't gonna say a couple, but somebody say you can call them Washington Pidskins because they had the hogs up front from back in the day, which would fit because a pigskin is part of the NFL, the football. I heard the Washington Redtails, for the Tuskegee Airmen. So it's a couple of name changes out there, but what think they're gonna change?
I was gonna say, and I heard the owner is trying to buy the Washington Generals from Harlem, from the Harlem Globetrotters. He's trying to get that name too.
Because it makes sense because they play in DC and Generals. But do you want to really name your team the Washington Generals?
A team that just gets mollywopped every time they come out on the floor.
Right.
I thought it was odd, but it was like, it's better than Redskins, I guess.
Exactly. So just think about if they want to change the name. The Cleveland Indians changing their name. A lot of people say I'm listening to fans, I'm listening to radio stations and different outlets around the United States, especially in DC. They say if you change the name of this team, we're not coming no more. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's bullshit. You're gonna be there. If that team go undefeated, you're gonna be the first person in line at Lids, at Dick's or Champ Sports.
Will be purchased.
You looking for the latest gear. You want that shirt that say NFC East Division Champions. You can't tell me no different. Same thing goes on in Cleveland, our hometown. People said they changed the name from the Cleveland Indians. They say they no longer gonna be part of the tribe. That's gonna be bullshit again. Bullshit. As DC would say, bring that ass here, boy. Soon as they start winning, Marcus, they're gonna be in line. Talk I got my new championship gear. That's all bull. When the team start winning, you got no choice but to buy into the hype.
Right.
Speaking of NFL, the Las Vegas Raiders, that stadium will be done. And we know that stadium would look like a super flying. So I thought the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta, Georgia was a hit. I mean, this is an all-black dome. All black. In Las Vegas. They will be hosting the Super Bowl pretty soon. Can John Gruden get that team over the hump to win a Super Bowl?
I think so. I mean, they made that questionable trade. Was it with the Bears? Where they got was it the best defensive player
Khalil Mack,
in the league?
the dumbest trade of
Yeah,
all
and
time.
Khalil Mack. It looked like things was going downhill, but they started looking like a real football team. Um, Not too long after that, then they had to fumble with Antonio Brown. Those shenanigans. Once they overcame those two, fumbles, with big players, they started to look like they actually could be a good football team. So I think John Gruden could, as long as he don't make any more trades like he did with Khalil Mack, he'll be all right. Don't sign players like Antonio Brown. Don't trade players like Khalil Mack. It's possible.
Speaking of the Las Vegas Raiders, I mean, they got a guy from ESPN as their GM, Mike Mayock. How is it going to work bringing somebody in from TV to be your GM to run your team? It's going to be a lot of countless days, hard work nights to put a team together. I still believe that John Gruden doesn't believe in Derek Carr. I just don't think.
I mean, did Derek Carr get invited to to his ESPN, what's it called? The quarterback camp.
Somebody, yeah, Gruden, the quarterback coaching thing. He was on there.
Okay.
But at the
Yeah,
same token, though,
he don't really mess with him though.
but no, so funny though. At the same token, everybody know John Gruden loves older quarterbacks. So hypothetically, Aaron Rodgers a free agent. You tell me John Gruden not gonna be in his ear and go try to go get Aaron Rodgers to play for the Raiders?
That's definitely somebody he'll want to get. I mean, I think somebody like
A bit Ben
who's
Roethlisberger.
gonna Ben Roethlisberger. I can't think of his name. I think he signed with a team, but
Talking about
he
Phillip
got the
Rivers.
beard. Philip Rivers would be a good one too, but he got the beard. What's the name? Fitzmagic.
Oh, Fitzmagic, yeah.
He's kind of like his type of quarterback. But that, as far as old guys, that's pretty much it. You mentioned Philip Rivers. That after him, it's like, how old do you want to get?
I know Phillip Rivers now. He's in Indy. Might be a good fit. He's in a dome.
What if you talk Andrew Luck into coming back? Speaking of Indy,
his contract's on the table. He can still come back and play. I think he's just taking time off so the body can heal because every time he come back, he gets hurt. Because I think was Andrew Luck a part of that draft class with or RG3? So you have
definitely was.
So you have
I remember
RG3.
Skip debating it.
Yeah, RG3 and Andrew Luck. At that time, them guys was invited to the Heisman Trophy candidate. RG3 took home the Heisman.
Right.
And when healthy, those two quarterbacks, when they are healthy, Andrew Luck is the better product. Like you say, body taking a beating, just a little fat. His dad is from his dad is from Elyria, Ohio.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
His dad played in the NFL. He played overseas in the NFL Europe. So,
Okay.
Oliver Luck. So when you look at players like that, I think that Andrew Luck, he's going to make a comeback to the league, without a doubt. I think he's just taking time off to rehab up, to get his mind straight. He's going to come back sharper. And I believe when he do come back, look how people in the NFL. Give him about 2-3 years. They're going to have another Super Bowl up there in Indy if he come back with that time. I think Phillip Rivers is buying time for him to get healthy, which is a smart move to pick up Phillip Rivers because maybe he can get to the playoffs. There's no Tom Brady in your way.
Mm-mm.
Nah. There's no Peyton Manning in your way. There's no Drew Brees in your way. So, Cam Newton's gonna be in your way. My boy Cam in New England.
Cam. I think Cam gonna get a ring.
You think Cam will get that ring?
Cam gonna get. I think he gonna get that ring, and then they really gonna be singing Belichick praises. But I think it's Cam's time. I think.
And man, look,
I'm not a Patriots fan, but when they signed him, they kind of won me over.
yeah, I feel the same way because by me living in Charlotte, and the sad thing, I'm about to say this: we lost two superstars to the same city. Kemba Walker to the Celtics, Cam Newton to the Patriots.
That's crazy. I just realized that once you point that out. That's crazy. Oh, man. How did that happen? So does that mean that Celtics gonna go? They going to the championship or nah? Because I think the Patriots they going to the Super Bowl.
A healthy Cam Newton, not just Cam. If y'all get the 2015 Cameron Jamal Newton MVP, man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Everybody overlook Cam though, Marcus. Like, let's be honest. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of bums got signed at quarterback before somebody picked up Cam Newton. Cam Newton, he had last 2 years, he wanted Cam was the same. Last year, he couldn't even throw the ball probably no more than 30 yards. But one thing you cannot question Cam Newton is his integrity, his love for the game, and he going to play through an injury. He going to ride and die with his team. Everybody says, Cam should shut it down. Cam already said it. If he can walk and he's healthy enough, he's going to go out there and try and give his 110%. A lot of players not going to do that. That's what separates the men from the boys. He's in that man column.
Definitely agree with that.
All right. Moving along. Like I said, my boy Cam up there in Massachusetts. Speaking of baseball starts next week as well too. So we're looking at teams how they're gonna do that thing. MLB, I think they playing 60 games. They playing 60 games. Can the Indians be a World Series favorite? I think they played Detroit Tigers like 10 times out of 60 games.
That should be 10 wins.
But the team to be watched out for, can the Minnesota Twins come back and do what they did last year? Can they become that same team who won 100-some games and hit over 200-some home runs? Can they be that team that bring that juice again? Another team to be on the watch for is the Chicago White Sox. That's another young team. They just signed a World Series pitcher, Anthony Rendon, from over there. Can they be this ball club that can put a fear in the Cleveland Indians? Because every team has a chance now. Can the Baltimore Orioles, with their hitter Chris Davis, can he get out that hitting slump? Did you know that guy? I think he was like 0 for like 75 or something like that before he got his first hit. I think he get his first hit to almost 3 months in. So it's the little things now what teams got to do. Can my sleeper team out west, can they do some damage? The Los Angeles Dodgers with Clayton Kershaw and the newly assigned Mookie Betts and David Price. It's a lot of things going on. We ain't even talk about the cheaters in the Houston Astros. Can they do something? It's a shortened season.
Asterisks.
So the Houston Asterisks, can they do something? It's a lot of things that are going on. We know the Tampa Bay Rays. That team is always quiet good, but they don't have the baseball market to keep the fans drawn in. There's a lot of things going on with MLB. Like you said, COVID-19. Like you said, Marcus, you think they should be wearing a face shield out there as well, too, to protect themselves.
Right.
Only people that's
They
probably
do a
6 feet.
lot of tobacco and chewing and all that.
Well, you know, certain stadiums you can't chew tobacco in. We're gonna see. We already know. This is gonna be. This is probably the most interesting, confusing years I ever seen in my life. My 34 years of living on Earth for sports to come to a halt like that.
Right.
Uh, the only sports have been
Everything, though.
everything. Only sports have been going on so far. The longest has been soccer. I think they've been going on for the longest. I think only 9 players tested positive for COVID-19. USC still going on. I think nobody tested positive yet for COVID-19.
And that's amazing.
Right. NASCAR been driving. I think they only had one person test positive for COVID-19. Like you said, soccer to be amazing only had 9. And they playing in premier matches almost every other day.
And the stadiums they're like, what is it, like twice the size of football
Yep.
overseas for the soccer game? So it's only 9 players. That's amazing.
I wonder what they doing in their leagues to make it so different than what everybody else is doing in the States. With the precautionaries of the COVID-19, well, how they testing people, because we know the NBA players are getting tested almost like every movement they getting tested.
All right, and that is so. I don't know how intense the testing is. If it's simple as peeing in a cup, or getting a poke, and that ain't that bad. But if it's intense and they got to go through that regularly, that's going to impact the game for sure.
Now, speaking of this COVID-19, they had the All-Star race yesterday in Bristol, and that's in Tennessee. They had over 10,000, I think I want to say like 10 or 20,000 fans, Marcus, seated at a stadium for a race car match. And I was tuned in for a second. Marcus, not one person that I seen on TV in the stands had a mask on. The governor let that ride on as a race with fans, 15,000 plus. One right now, it says the biggest sporting event so far this year, post COVID-19. If that's still going on. And in that race, Chase Elliott finished first. Second was Kyle Busch. And third was Kevin Harvick. Fourth was Brad Keselowski. Don't ask me how I know these names. Like I said, I live in Charlotte. By the way, in Cleveland, but lived in Charlotte for 9 years. And, I used to work for Coca-Cola. And I was always fascinated with race cars. This is kind of weird because as a kid, I collected Hot Wheels cars. My dad, his mother, my grandmother always watched NASCAR. So I was always fascinated. That's one of my things I like to do. And people just not notice. That's probably the side people don't know what you know now. I watched NASCAR. And I met one of my favorite race car drivers. I'm gonna let you know that I'm not lying. I'm gonna show y'all this. Hold on. I like NASCAR. It's weird.
It's a gym.
It's a gym. So let me put these back on so y'all can hear me. So it was a gym, I get up, get this guy at work, his name NASCAR Nate. He like NASCAR, but I don't talk that much everywhere. I crack jokes. So this is the hood of a NASCAR that I got from one of my favorite race car drivers. He signed it right here. I'm about to bring it closer. Joey Logano.
Okay. Wow.
He signed it. He signed it for me. I won a raffle at work, and I was like, I hope I win this, man. Like, Joey Logano, my favorite race car driver. Not only did he sign it, I met him, took a picture with him so far. So, I got that hung up in the man cave. So there y'all know it. Dante watched NASCAR. I keep up with the names,
Right.
Denny Hamlin. He's from the Charlotte area. He has a stock car in NASCAR. Michael Jordan got him signed on to his contract, so you know some little gems out there. You know Bubba Wallace, all these guys from his area. So I do watch NASCAR. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie to you that some people say, man, I don't watch NASCAR, but as a sports fan, I watch all sports, give or take. And that's one thing I just found out about Dante. Dante watching NASCAR. Tay Wiggs watch good old NASCAR. It's crazy because
I was gonna say I was starting to figure you did based on the topics you would be bringing up. Like that's another NASCAR topic, Jay Bryan.
Right.
He making me find out about NASCAR.
Right. And it's crazy because, like I said, I've been living down here for 9 years, and Charlotte's a big racing area. You know, I don't live too far from the racetrack. The racetrack is it's 3 times bigger than the Panther Stadium, to be honest with you. From my house, from the racetrack, it's about a good 8 minutes away. I'm talking about when they racing, you can hear it. If it's on TV and they go around that curve, you can hear them cars go, meow, 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 meow. You can hear it from your house. You know, I do watch NASCAR. That's a gem right there. But going to the next topic, we're not gonna keep this long. We ain't been on this in a while. College football. They talk about the teams are only gonna play in their conferences. The Big Ten say they play only Big Ten games. ACC staying in their conference. So how is it gonna shape up for a national title? How are you gonna do that?
That is going to impact the rankings 1,000%. I think if they do that, you really got to consider some of these mid-major conferences. Like it wouldn't be fair if a school like Ohio State saying they only playing Big Ten schools, and you're in a mid-major conference and you want to play Ohio State because you feel like you can beat them and get a ranking, but they're telling you, no, we only playing Big Ten schools. That really limits those mid-major schools to playing teams only in their conference, which a lot of them aren't ranked. Not saying they don't have some of them don't have the talent to be ranked. It's just, how politics go.
Exactly.
So if they're going to limit, the season to play only within conference, they got to open up the rankings to consider teams they not, traditionally consider.
Yeah, and I agree with that exactly. So you look at teams like you said, Ohio State, the Alabamas, teams that that go pretty much undefeated. Just think about a team like Notre Dame, who's going to be at the end of the stick again. They don't have a conference, but they always want to get into
right?
But they always talk about how they want to get into the Final Four. Not Ohio State, the Big Ten, every year always say, hey, Notre Dame, come join the conference. They don't want to. You know why Notre Dame don't want to come join the conference? They do not want to give up that market money on NBC.
Oh, yeah. They basically got a professional level TV deal as a college football team.
And guess who got the biggest TV deal right behind them? Texas. So you're looking at Notre Dame, who don't want to give up that. See, Notre Dame so greedy. They don't want to share that money pot with no conference. Join the Big Ten. Just join the Big Ten.
Who's to say that they can't have both?
Right. We can kick out Rutgers. It's no problem. We can kick out Rutgers. Everybody go to Rutgers to get a good 3-game touchdowns in. People never heard of. Oh, he has a career high in touchdowns. It's against Rutgers. Every time you turn a TV on, Rutgers is always ranked last in the Big Ten for defense. Kick out Rutgers. You can have them go play in the MAC. No disrespect to the MAC. But if Notre Dame want that clarification and want to be notified as one of the big dog schools, come and join. Come and join the conference. You can join the Big 12. Anybody.
Right. Notre Dame can pretty much join any conference that's within like a 10 or 15, mile. Even bigger than that, they can join a West Coast conference if they. I
Yeah, they
mean,
can join the
everybody will
Pac-10,
accept them with open arms. Right.
but they don't look. They want to play on NBC. They want them gold helmets to be known on NBC.
Right. That's what I was just about to say.
Them guys ain't won nothing since Lou Holtz was their coach. They ain't been good since Jerome Bettis and Tim Brown. So, yeah,
But they had Monte Teo. Wasn't he on
who? The man who said he had a
wasn't he?
girlfriend? He got one now though. Manti Te'o played for Notre Dame.
Didn't they went to the national championship that year, didn't they? And
His
got
dad was,
bopped.
yeah, Manti Te'o, his girlfriend must have been Ghost Dad with Bill Cosby played in that movie.
Man, that movie was good.
Right. So you looking at all type of stuff. Like they just need to join a conference. And we know college football. See, one thing I'm gonna say about football now, high school football players, hypothetically, these guys are practicing the bubble. They can't practice in groups. You talk about these are kids coming up for their senior year of football who's supposed to get that look and that opportunity to go to a major university, Marcus, and they can't get that look because what COVID-19 is doing. Then you talk about the college players on the other hand, who's coming to their junior year or senior year, who could be an NFL pick. You don't know how good they're going to be because that's going to be put on hold. And they college football may start in the spring.
Just on a high school level, like here in Ohio, there was no state championships, no state champions named if you played a winter sport. So it's like the schoolers, the people, the students of any level, high school, college, like they're pretty much getting robbed opportunities, to even go to like prom, me and you had a prom, this class and you couldn't even go to prom. So it's unfortunate. But I don't even know what the solution is going to be. Like they're going to have to come up with a vaccine, I think.
Exactly. Like I said, 2020 kids, man, y'all will forever go down in history as the class whose season and schooling you worked hard. First and foremost, they worked hard. From where they go to school from August to September to get your stuff halted at March. Like, that's unheard of. Like you said, Marcus, we had a prom. We had a state championships. We get to go to these games and these schools' festivities. These kids couldn't. So I feel, like I said, I feel for these kids. I do. Not only just the kids, but the teachers who got to teach. Some of these kids, let's be honest, some of these students are not computer savvy. Some kids got short teaching spans, and you want to go on a Zoom meeting and teach kids through the computer. Some kids are more hands-on. They want to answer questions. That's a lot that's being taken away from the youth that they need to succeed later in life. It's just so much is happening right now due to this virus, especially sports. And speaking of sports, like you said, fall sports, Marcus, think about those schools who thrive off the fall sports for the football, the basketball. Some of these sports carry these schools to keep the lights on.
Right. Absolutely. And that this just when they were considering paying student athletes. Now is really going to be seen what keeps some of these, like you said, keep some of these schools alive is the athletic programs, mainly the football and basketball teams. So now with them not playing, that's like a loss of a revenue stream.
Exactly. So everybody know high school football around the United States. That first Friday night football game at home for a school, that's bringing in a good 5,000 to 6,000. We ain't even talking about the concession stands making money for the school too. So,
Because they ripping people off.
and no, by me living here, I ain't gonna lie. Going to high school, when we was in high school, man, you know how much a high school football ticket costs? $5 if you didn't buy it at school. At lunchtime, the ticket costs $2. Here in Charlotte, the football ticket here is $8 in school and at the gate. So
Crazy.
concession stands here. The game I went to, fire, funnel cakes, hot dogs,
so you
hamburgers.
actually paying for what you're buying then.
Right, you paying for what you're buying. You paying for real chips. Now the chips from Aldi's, you getting real Lay's potato chips, sour cream and onion. You get what you pay for. I just feel sorry for the kids though. Move right along. Sports World, we'll be back next week. Promise you the people we'll be on more. We just live in different and difficult times right now. It's so hard trying to keep up with sports and what's going to happen next. All we do is live one day at a time and take it easy. Anything you got to say to the people, Marcus, about anything else that you want to touch on in this sports world?
No, just everybody out there stay safe. Wear y'all masks.
Wear the mask.
And watch as much sports as you can if it does come on, because it's not guaranteed that they're gonna keep these seasons on. Like me and talking about more NBA players come up with the coronavirus. I think they're gonna cancel this mini season, and other sporting teams may do so as well. So if a sportsman's on, you better watch it while you can.
Exactly. Before I leave, Netflix is running a good Stephon Marbury series, A Kid from Coney Island. Yo, I don't want to give it away, but if you ain't seen it, hey, KD.
I ain't seen it. I heard about it.
Kevin Durant, you did your thing with that one when you produced that. Stephon Marbury. When I watched that, man, everybody forget that he was drafted in the same draft class with AI.
AI.
He was the fourth pick. They traded Ray Allen from Minnesota to Milwaukee for the draft rights of Stephon Marbury. Like I said, if you ain't doing nothing,
I'm gonna have to watch that.
A Kid from Coney Island, y'all. And hold on, before we leave, what's the NFL? What's the series that Netflix is running with the college football kids? What is it called? What's that
one? I do have seen.
Hey.
I'm gonna have to pull up my Netflix.
What's my guy name, man?
You're talking about with Tay Diggs, right?
No, not that. Not All American. This a real junior college coach.
Oh, a true life one.
I'm about to tell you right now. What is that I'm watching? That's on Netflix. They be going around to all the junior colleges, the football.
Let's see.
Last Chance U. That's what I'll be watching. So, according to the people who do the production of Last Chance U, they're gonna have a junior college basketball one come out.
That'll be interesting.
That would be definitely interesting. JUCO basketball. When are you gonna start at?
Because we had two of our interviewees went through the JUCO route. Aaron and Darren.
Exactly, and I would love to see that because talk about some guys that actually play JUCO basketball is actually better than some of the guys that play D1. They just didn't get that look, probably depending on height and grades. But at the end of the day, if you can ball, you can ball. And like I said, check out the kid from Coney Island, Stephon Marbury. Trust and believe. Stephon Marbury, everybody forgot Stephon Marbury was that dude. He was that dude.
You know, it was who he got game was based off of.
Exactly.
Don't know that either.
So Marcus, just when you watch that, just remember that you said that, and just remember who was mad as hell because they got that part.
All right.
So on that note, with my boy King James coming back, and then hope everybody from the NBA, I hope all the NBA players in the bubble stay safe, wear your mask, stay 6 feet. You remember that song Bad Bad? Give me 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, it's your host Tay Wiggs.
It's your co-host Mark Senior.
We out of here. Peace.
Peace.